Hey everyone, welcome back to XXL Recaps, where we break down the biggest movies with full recaps and explanations. Today, we're diving into the hilarious reboot of a classic comedy franchise, The Naked Gun from 2025, starring Liam Neeson as the bumbling yet heroic Frank Drebin. This film brings back the slapstick humor, absurd plot twists, and over-the-top action that made the original series a hit. Let's jump right into the story, scene by scene, without any spoilers skipped. We'll cover all the key moments in sequence. The movie kicks off with a high-stakes bank robbery in Los Angeles. Armed robbers dressed in clown masks storm the bank, shouting orders and hurting hostages. Outside, SWAT teams surround the building, but no one moves without word from the mayor. Tension builds as a little girl approaches one of the robbers, only for her to reveal she's actually a tough undercover cop who takes him down. Chaos ensues with gunfire and explosions, but in the end, the hero emerges, Frank Drebin, played by Liam Neeson, who single-handedly neutralizes the threats with his no-nonsense style. We then get Frank's narration introducing himself as Sergeant Frank Drebin, Detective Lieutenant of Police Squad, a special LAPD division. The day after the robbery, Frank wakes up in his sparse apartment, stares at a photo of his late wife, and heads to work. On the way, he's celebrated by civilians for his heroics, but his boss, the chief, isn't happy. She chews him out for putting robbers in the ICU, risking lawsuits and the shutdown of Police Squad. She references past incidents, like when Frank arrested an entire McDonald's staff over freedom fries. As punishment, she's pulling him off the bank case and assigning him to traffic collisions. Frank and his partner Ed head to a car crash in Malibu. The victim is Simon Davenport, who drove his fancy Eden Tech electric car off a cliff. No skid marks suggest he didn't break, and empty pill bottles point to suicide. Frank marks it as such, but back at the station, Officer Barnes shares odd details about the bank robbery. The thieves didn't know each other or their boss, and they were allowed to keep the cash, meaning the heist was for something else. Enter Beth Davenport, Simon's sister, who storms into Frank's office insisting her brother was murdered. She mentions a troubling phone call from Simon the night before. Frank is smitten by her beauty and confidence, describing her in his classic over-the-top narration. They banter, with Beth suggesting leads like Simon's boss, Richard Kane of Eden Tech. Frank dismisses her amateur sleuthing, but she's a true crime author and vows to investigate herself. Frank visits Richard Kane at his high-tech mansion during a lavish party. Kane, a billionaire genius in electric cars and green tech, praises Frank's old-school methods and invites him to his exclusive club, the Bengal. They bond over cigars and mutual disdain for modern overregulation. Frank notices a matchbook from the Bengal that matches one from Simon's car. Kane gifts Police Squad a self-driving Edenvox 1 car, which Frank reluctantly tests, leading to comedic mishaps. Back at the station, Frank interrogates a bank robber with Ed. Using body cam footage, which hilariously includes Frank's unrelated antics like eating chili dogs and bathroom emergencies, they pressure the perp. He reveals the heist-targeted safe deposit box 595, belonging to Simon Davenport. This links the robbery to Simon's death, turning two cases into one. Meanwhile, Kane holds a secret meeting with elite businessmen, ranting about society's decline and unveiling his primordial law of toughness device, plot device, a frequency bomb to turn people savage, resetting civilization for the strong. He tested it on a community center, causing riots. Frank and Ed coerce a confession from another suspect, Sig Gustafson, using elaborate fake sets to simulate prison horrors. Sig admits Kane's plan to detonate the device at a WWFC fight on New Year's Eve, hidden in the New Year's balls. But internal affairs arrests Frank for illegal tactics, and more setups reveal Barnes' violations too. Undeterred, Frank and Ed gear up with earplugs to block the frequency. At the arena, Frank infiltrates to find the device while Ed provides backup. Beth, disguised, confronts Kane but gets captured. Frank reaches the balls, disarms the device, but exposes himself hilariously on live TV. A chase ensues with Kane's goons on motorcycles, leading to absurd action sequences. In the climax, Frank faces Kane in a bunker. After a pathetic fight where Kane admits he's never actually fought, Frank arrests him. Beth nearly kills Kane for revenge, but Frank talks her down with a heartfelt plea about love and justice. They share a romantic moment as the frequency's effects wear off. The film wraps with the chief praising Frank but announcing an investigation into his methods. In a meta twist, the screen pulls back to reveal the audience watching, leading to more chaos. Frank proposes to Beth with a song, and the story ends on a high note of absurdity. Overall, The Naked Gun 2025 is a fun, nostalgic reboot that captures the spirit of the originals with modern twists. Liam Neeson shines in comedy, the gags are relentless, and the satire on tech billionaires hits hard. However, some jokes feel dated, and the plot can drag in spots. I'd rate it 4 out of 5 stars, a must-watch for fans of silly comedies, but not groundbreaking. If you enjoyed this recap, hit like, subscribe to XXL Recaps, and comment your favorite scene below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.